Welcome to another edition of This Week in Disc Golf. It is Tuesday, November 29th. I'm Charlie Eisenhood, and let's talk about what happened this week. We were off last week for the Thanksgiving holiday, but you didn't miss much. It's the off-season, and there's not a ton of news right now. We're still kind of waiting for things to get started with the hot stove in this off-season. We do begin with a signing news, though. Chandler Kramer is returning to Lone Star Discs, announced this week on Instagram. Kramer, who Joel Freeman says has the world's best forehand, was repping Lone Star last year, but he'll be going full Lone Star bag in 2023 as the company continues to roll out new molds. And they, of course, signed Nicolo Castro just a couple weeks ago. So Lone Star, the big mover in the early part of this off-season. Kristen Tatar is taking care of her elbow injury. She posted on Instagram 2 weeks ago that she is heading in for surgery. So she is in the recovery process right now, and she should be ready to go at the beginning of next season. All things considered, this is generally a minor surgery, so not a major risk for complications, although anytime you get surgery, of course, for an athlete, it can be an issue in the future. So hoping that Kristen gets back to 100% quickly, and she's ready to go for 2023. Mostly smaller tournaments at this time of year, maybe a local B or C tier, maybe a turkey trot in your area. But we did have the Australian Championships. They took place in November 18th to 20th. Drew Gibson gets the win over in MPO. He beats Chris Hill by 7 strokes. Chris Hill, local to Australia. And a couple American players making the trip. Scott Stokely over there as well. And over in FPO, also an American champion, Jen Allen wins by 17 strokes over Sarah Lee. And so a couple of high-profile American pros making the trip, enjoying some off-season time in Australia, and taking down a big title at the Australian Disc Golf Championships. And speaking of Kristen Tatar, let's talk about our Statmando stat of the week. Kristen Tatar, dealing with an elbow injury for most of the second half of the season, caused her to miss some key tournaments, including the European Championships. She took down $35,000, as we know, at the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. Now take a look at this. This comes from Statmando Steve. Paige Pierce's first 14 major wins brought in less prize earnings than Kristen Tatar's $35,000 payday for winning the 2022 DGPT Championships. Corver, all of the earnings from 92 until 2020, less than $35,000 total. Elaine King's career winnings, less than the $35K. Incredible statistics coming from Statmando, and it just goes to show you how much we've seen purses increase over the past few years, and particularly the Pro Tour Championship doing such a great job matching the pay for both the men and the women at their championship event. We head now to our social media minute. Kona Panis and Colton Montgomery getting married last week. Take a look at the video from her Instagram. Must follow if you don't already. And just looks like such a fantastic time. So great to see so many off-season weddings this year. And Panis and Montgomery have been a couple for a long time. Hot cocoa for life. That's the hashtag, and well-deserved. It looks like a great time. Congratulations to the newlyweds. Before we let you go this week, just wanted to let you know that the Disc Golf Pro Tour is hiring some new positions. So you can go over to dgpt.com, check out the options that they've got. A new marketing coordinator position that's full-time, communications coordinator as well, and then some part-time roles, including social media coordinator, an operations coordinator, and a remote production assistant if you want to get involved at the Disc Golf Network. So check it all out, dgpt.com. Applications are open for a couple weeks, and most interviews will be taking place in late December and early January. That's going to do it for this week's This Week. We'll talk to you next time, hopefully with some more hot stove news coming your way.